Hey designer, welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make this professional flyer using your smartphone. Let's check the preview of the design. Before jumping into today's tutorial, let's check the intro.
Decorative skills with creativity.
Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we post new videos.
So guys, without wasting much of our time, let's dive into today's tutorial.
Yeah, good day guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing great. This morning I want to show you how to make a simple church flyer on your Android smartphone. Very professional and very simple. Within 10 minutes we should be able to come up with this particular church flyer. This is another top notch and another dimension which you can actually learn from. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. The first thing, as I do say, knowing the sizes is very important that you want to use in your project, and know the type of font you want to use. So the first thing is to set up our background size, which is 853. I want to use 853 by 1280. Many people do ask me, how did I got to know about size? You need a calculator that you have to understand when something is in centimeter, when it is inches, or in pixel. You can make I'm thinking of dropping a video very soon on that, how you can deal with that using your smartphone. This is applicable all through. You need to understand inches, no centimeter, no millimeter. Then you need to understand the pixel. This will help you a long way to know how to convert and change some of your background size. Then after that, we have this particular result. The next thing is to go to our gallery. Then we need to import important images. Let's take it for instance, I'm bringing this in. So this will be the basis of my background. Then I'm still importing it, using it as a background and using it as overlay at the same time. I said it the last time, if you mix the video, that the reason why I always use background and use the same background as an overlay is because I don't want the work to be distorted. The PixelLab has no update, so at time whenever you save as a project, you discover when you open it late, everything will scatter, distorted and unarranged. And how can you deal with that? You need to use two background. You use the first background, then you have an overlay background. That one will help you to make your work to stabilize, not destabilize. That's another trick I got by myself, and I believe that will help you a long way. So another thing I want to do now, after getting this, is to import the image that we want to use. So I'm bringing this kind of images. Then how do I blur the bottom of this? Is the full grown man image. And how did I do that? Just go to my PSCC touch if you are using Android 11 version upward, or you are using below. If you are using Android 10 version below, you have to use PS touch. So when you get there is a blur background there, which you can just drag to the area where you want to blur, and you are able to blur like this, and that will be able to fit in and blend with the background, since the PixelLab doesn't have blending. So after that, the next thing we need to do is to put an overlay schedule, which I've already cropped and bring in here. So you just position it to make the work faster for us. And the gradient was used to achieve that, so that we won't be able to see the background and we won't be able to see the below the below the image. We won't be able to see the lane that it was cut off. It will look like it is inside and everything is perfect and complete. So after that, we are able to lock everything. We start with our write-up. So we'll go back to our write-up. We type 15. So we have 15. Then we are going to use a font called Biba font, because the date needs to be given an hierarchy. So we use a Biba bold, then we increase the size and use a gradient as so we increase the size just as this. So after increasing the sizes to, let's say, 102, then the space in between each digit need to be close a little bit. Then we'll go to the texture area and we apply this particular font. So we need to position it very well to stay away a little bit from the borderline. So after that, we are going back and type th since 15th. Then we are not using a bold Biba here. We are using uh, uh the Biba light one. You understand? It's Biba light one. This one. Then after that, we are going to just move it to be very closer to that. So we'll have something like this. Okay. Then we click on the second one. Then we move it down here. Then we have the whole result right at our hand. So we click on that. You don't need to hide it. Just bring it down here to fit in. Then we have the whole result. So 15th, the annual. So we are copying the same th. Then we'll put the annual. So after that, we are going to position that here. Then we can make it, we reduce it very well. If we actually want, we're going to reduce it very, very well. So just as this. So we can bold it to make it more visible. Then there should be a space in between each of the alphabet so that it can be easily readable. So I'm still thinking of changing the size of the 15th because my phone is in landscape. After rotating, I will have a full screen, so there is probability that it will still be bigger than what I expect. So it's cool like this, right? So then the th needs to be reduced a little bit as well. Then after reducing it, I have to rearrange it to make it a more cool. It's not how far but how well. And what do I mean by that? Don't be hurry. As a designer, you need to take your time to make things work for yourself. So we have 15, then let's copy. So we have healings worship. So we need to delete this. Then we have healing. Then we have this particular result. So which we are going to increase. So after increasing it, we are going to position it around here. Use our relative size to make sure that everything is actually plugging. So we need to reduce so as to give a space in between each of the letters, and after giving the space, we'll be able to position it to the center. Then after that, the next thing we're going to do is to just type worship. So we have worship. And everything should be in line with each other. That is the area why I separate it, because I'm supposed to write it together to be sure and to be justifiable. You can turn on your grid exactly like this. Just use it as a kind of a demarcation that you will know that it won't go beyond these two areas. Then after that, you can increase this by 1 2. Then use your relative position. Then after using that, you can still increase. Use your relative position again. After that, you can still increase just to make sure everything is in line. Use your relative position. Then we do the same thing to the next one. Do the same thing. Then use your relative position. You understand? So when we check, we discover everything is actually plumb. The next thing is to create a space in between them. So we have a space to be created just exactly like this. So after creating a space, we go back to our shape area. Make your radius to be 0 after selecting this rectangle. Then we go to the color. Use your color picker to pick any color from here. So I'm thinking of picking this color. Then after picking the color is too deep, so I'm thinking of picking a lighter color instead. So I'm picking this color. Then I'm going to the stroke and make a stroke to be something. The color should be white in stroke. Then I will reduce the size well. After reducing the size, increasing the stroke a little bit by 7. Then we are going to position that in between here. Then make sure you position to the center. Let it calm down a bit. That is in between the I and the X stuff. Then let it go up a bit. Okay, perfect. Then the next thing we need to do is to copy this particular font. Then we have in in. Then we'll go to the color area, we change it to white. Since we are having a deep color as background before, we don't need to use a deep color anymore. So just have this to be reduced, or you use a railway font. Let's use a railway font, which would have been a better one for us at that particular period. So we use a railway font, then we have it reduced and have it fit in inside
Don't forget
this.
to hit the
So
subscribe
let's
button
have
and the
this,
bell
then
icon.
use your position arrow to move it and fit it in. Fit it in. Okay, good. Then position to the center. Then we have the accurate result. So the next thing that we need to do is to just go to the shape area as usual. So we'll go to the shape area. That is going to be bigger than this a little. I mean, go beyond this a little bit. So after selecting this, just as this, we are using our relative position to position to the center. Then we go to the same font that we use here, just back, we copy. Then we have 26th. You can see 26th July 2022. You can see. So we have hyphen just like this. Let's say 10 a.m. Everything should be in capital letter. Then we'll have to change the font to, the color to black to make it workable. Click on plus sign, move this upper one towards the edge to make it more darker. Then if the font are no more, it's not really darker, so we can go back to our font area to see whether we can see a leaks pattern. Will have been the best for that. And if we can and it is too small, the next thing we can do, you can use a railway that is very bold. So we use a railway that is very bold. So we use a bolder one. So this should be okay. Then after that, we increase the size just as this. Okay, this is cool, right? Or we use a Roboto. Let's try Roboto to see whether Roboto font can fit in. So we'll use a Roboto that are so bold. Okay, Roboto black bold. Let's use Roboto black. Okay, very cool. This is okay, right? So we reduce the size and we'll be able to give a spacing between each words. Each alphabet. So we reposition. Then after reposition, we create a space, more spacing between this. Then reduce the sizes just as this. Then have it position here. Then we use our relative position to position to the center, make a justification by making it fitting. So after that, the next thing we need to do is to just put our write up. So I'm going to copy the th at that particular area. Sorry, I'm copied. Then I have morning services. So I want to put the schedule. Morning services. That is 8:30 a.m., which you can see. Children, we have an demarcation. So we have children. You can see children's services 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Then the next thing we can have is let's deal with this first, and we make this to go beyond a little bit. So what we can do is to just let's say 10:30 to 9:30, 10:30 to 9:30. Then we have the second one, which is 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Actually 12:30 a.m. Okay. So after having this, the next thing is to make sure how we can fit it in between this. So we can reduce the size to our best of understanding. So reduce the size and you have to space it. So space it just as this, and you reposition to the center and you move it very close to the shape that you will carve out. So after we are able to do that, the next thing to do is to put our email address and a phone number. So what we need to do, this one needs to be more deep a little bit. So we will have www.holyhope.com. Then we'll have slash 07056078111. Let's make it to be +234. Then everything is cool, right? So we'll go to the font area where we want to select our font. So we want to use the same Bebas font, but it needs to be reduced. So have it positioned to the center, then you reduce it. Reduce the size well. Go to where you type. We'll have to have this. Click OK. Just bring
Don't
it
forget
down.
to hit the subscribe button and
Just
the
as
bell
this.
icon.
Then we are going to increase the size. Give a space. There should be a space in between each letters. Then use your relative position to the center. After that, put an address to put a finishing touch to everything. So how can we do that? By putting an address. So after everything has been plumbed just as this, the next thing we need to do, I'm thinking of reducing this a little bit, maybe to 23. Then you reposition. It's almost the same thing anyway. Let's make it to be 22. 22 should be okay. Then we'll reposition. I don't want it to go more beyond that. Then I have this to be reduced as well. Okay, reposition to the center. So now that we have that, the next thing we can do is to shift this a little bit. Then we have our address copy. Then we have our address shouldn't be too much. So we'll just have Allen area. Say number 3, Lagos. So very simple and straightforward. So after making it that way, the next thing is to just let's just put Lagos, Nigeria. Then everything should be in capital letter. So after that, the next thing we need to do is to just bring it in and fit it in at the bottom like this. Then we are done with everything, when you can see. So the next thing we need to do is to just put our chart here. So I'm going to copy what was here. We will have Holy Hope Present. Okay. Reduce. Go to space and space it very well. Go to relative size. Have it spread like that. Okay, perfect. So the next thing is to just leave it. So we'll go down here, just mark this and the hand one, and you move it down. Move it down all together, just as this. Very cool. Then we'll make sure that it's very close to the edge. So tap on this and bring it towards the bottom. So everything is plumb and we're done with everything. And this is just a simple way on how you can come up with a church flyer on your Android smartphone using your PixelLab. I believe we'll learn something from here. This is very simple. The 3 fonts, if you are following me, were used to achieve this, and that is Leaks pattern. Then we use a Bebas, We have a Bibas font was used. Then we use Railway fonts. Those are the three fonts together with the images and the arrangement. Everything is more superb. Thanks for watching once again, and God bless you. Just have your work. Your dimension should be in Ultra, and your format should be in PNG. Thank you.